something to say. Masquerade behind a facade of cliches. Dollars and cents to make a wage, another dollar, another day. Something to say. Who gets paid for right and wrong? Who can stay for twice as long? I'll sing my poem, I'll write my song as something to say. Something to say against injustice. I insist we must kiss. That's when I should have said to her when I knew I had something to say. Something to say. Inside the teller at the bank, behind the counter at the store, stands a clerk of whom I'm sure has something to say. Something to say about the cold. I'd hoped the weather would have turned by now. Small talk was of yore, but at least something to say. Something to say my father showed me could make bright the darkest day. To find a stranger with a story, ask him what he tends to worry. At the heart you'll find him grateful he'd been waiting for a chance to share. What always kept him hence, what seemed eternal on defense, but now no more, he'd found a friend of whom had said then asked again, how's it going? As a boy, I lived in fright. I sought wise counsel for that fight. Stress of the unknown kept me fearful I'd lose home. I'd call at night, stripped bare against my bones. Fearful still, I'd ring his phone. Clench my fist, but check my tone. I'd call aloud in his direction. At the heavens point my message. Ask if he was still invested. If he's there, then please come chat. I took the chair where sadness sat and hoped he'd have something to say. Turns out he did. But for years, I wouldn't respond. What's this idea, eternal bond, that I'm worth what you say is wrong? Took the faith my parents talked and skipped that shit across the pond. There's nothing to say, but something later on. It's tough. A crowd like this, I'm sure right now there's someone sits whose deepest wish is one like his, but who's this clown that speaks with lips of which I'd lastly, rather ghastly, not to mention why in fact, completely just my apprehension. Who's this lunatic who thinks he has? Gosh, he really thinks he has a chance. As if we cared for more than what they've poured to numb us from a glass, which now we sip to fight the boredom while we watch his sorry ass. Because he certainly, most definitely, undoubtedly does not have something to say. Maybe one day I'll know enough of what to say. I'll have a token in my pocket. I'll have mapped the great escape. I'll have made it in the eyes of all my peers. I'll have made it and not wasted all these oh so many years. I'll have made it and there finally will be talent in my tears. I'll have made it knowing that the death of all my dreams are not to fear. I'll have made it knowing finally I have found something to say.